if PMO gave you this objective dopamine rush, that objective pleasure rush, because of its biological things that it does to us in our brain, because of our evolutionary programming, it hijacks our brain. That's what we've been taught by Your Brain on Porn. Then why is this fellow addicted to smelling tuna? Does smelling tuna release dopamine in the brain? If not, then how is he addicted to tuna? Do you get it? My argument is that addiction doesn't exist. This whole dopamine story that we've been sold by Your Brain on Porn, by NoFap, is bullshit. That isn't why you have this problem. You have this problem due to your beliefs, and you can solve that problem by reading the Freedom Model, just like how I did. It's the best way to quit PMO. Anyway, we're going to watch this video about, this guy who's addicted to smelling tuna, and I'll draw parallels as to why he's addicted to smelling tuna that aren't related to dopamine theories and are instead related to our beliefs. Let's go. Look at that, right?
Got a coffee for you?
Oh, shoot, thank you.
Nasty.
Nice way to start the day. I'm a big fish in a small can. They call me Tuna Tyler.
Okay, Tuna Tyler, all right? This is what's happening. This is how all addictions work, and you can read that in the Freedom Model below. Pretty much what's happening. Tuna is a physical smell. Anything with a physical component to it, we can attach various beliefs onto. For example, hot chocolate, right? When I drink this, I'm like, it's like a soothing kind of thing. The hot chocolate isn't soothing, that's just how I'm perceiving it. Now, when I smell tuna, I'm probably going to smell it and I'm going to think this is disgusting. But when he smells it and he feels that relief. That's why he loves it so much, because he believes that the tuna can help relieve him. It's a placebo effect. What a placebo effect is when he smells the tuna, he thinks the tuna smell is relaxing him, when in reality, the tuna smell is just a small cue for him to then realise, time to relax myself. Right? It's the same with cigarettes. It's the same with PMO. With PMO, what's happening is you feel the sensations, and then not the sensations, but your beliefs about what you think the sensations do for you are the reason why you feel certain things. For example, pleasure and emotional relief. You think PMO is the best thing in the world? When you PMO, you experience some pleasure. You're thinking, this is the best thing in the world. And to some extent you feel that. Right now it's disappointing, and you can only delude yourself for so long, and it doesn't really work, but you think it does. With emotional relief, it's the same thing. You think the PMO isn't relieving your emotions, but really you are. You think the PMO is giving you pleasure, but really you're the one who's thinking, this is great. You could do that with anything. People have loads of strange intellectual interests, like collecting Pokemon cards when they're in their 30s. I wouldn't collect Pokemon cards because I don't see any point in it. I wouldn't derive pleasure from that. Some people would derive immense pleasure from that. Do you see how it's not the thing itself that is producing pleasure? It's not the thing itself that's producing emotional relief. It's not the thing itself that's giving you all of these feelings that you think it's giving you. It's actually your mind. And because your mind is doing it, your mind can do it with other things. You don't need PMO. But when you believe you need PMO in order for me to get this pleasure, this emotional relief, whatever, when you attach all of those beliefs and give the substance the credit, you give the feeling the credit, you give the tuna smell the credit. In Tuna Tyler's case, look, here's what's happened in Tuna Tyler's case. The value of the tuna smell experience goes way up because he's ascribing his beliefs to the tuna smell instead of himself. Give yourself the credit, right? Don't give the credit to some meaningless physical feeling.
And I'm addicted to smelling tuna. When people see me smelling tuna out in public, they might think it's a little bit different, for sure.
Yeah, man, it is weird.
It might look weird to other people, but to me, I think it's perfectly fine. I love smelling tuna every day, all the time, all day, all night, any day, every day.
Wow. He drinks it too.
Not only do I like smelling tuna, but I also definitely like to drink a little bit of the juice right out of the can. What I love about tuna smell is definitely the fish light aroma with a little bit of sweetness.
So look, he's saying it's the smells thing, but the thing is, you would never develop this obsession with something just because of this like mild physical smell. That isn't what he likes about it. You can tell he's feeling relaxed. You can just see it on his face. He's feeling relaxed when he's doing it. I felt relaxed just doing that then because I let myself relax. He's doing that. He's letting himself relax. He's giving himself a bit of time off. He's letting himself focus on this thing, and he's just relaxing for a bit. The problem is that he's giving the tuna the credit, and now he's thinking, why do I like it so much? It's because of the smell. I really like the smell. So say with PMO, like you might blame the physical MO buzz, right? You might blame the MO. You're like, oh, masturbation feels so good, bro. You have no idea, it feels so good. But if you actually MO mindfully, you will find the experience is not so magical. It's not so fantastical. It's not so good. Without your beliefs behind it, it's a nice buzz. Yeah, of course it is, but it's got nothing behind it.
But what I love about the taste is the texture of it. I like it not too wet, but not too dry.
I don't deny that he likes tuna as well. Like, you probably like MO. I like the feeling of it, but for me, I don't derive any satisfaction from it. I don't derive any pleasure from it because I know I'm so much happier without it.
We're looking at my stash of tuna. I have solid, I have chunk light. I really don't like albacore, but I have like yellowfin. All tuna will never ever be created equal. I like the tuna in the oil over the water because it's like the oil allows the tuna to stay in between, not too dry, but then not too loose and mushy.
I think we've had enough of this guy. My point is, lads, it's not about the smell of the tuna. It's not about the feeling of MO physically. It's about the beliefs. And I know this for a fact. Because when you debunk the beliefs and you realise, hang on, PMO doesn't do this, it doesn't do this, it's just me. PMO doesn't become this unique thing that's able to give you what you want at the drop of a hat. You can give yourself everything, and PMO loses a lot of its perceived value. Right? A lot of the things you thought PMO does for you, it doesn't. And therefore, those little factors that PMO, what it can do for you, you realise you can get it elsewhere. You can do it to yourself, and you just don't need PMO for it. That's how you. And then the costs of not PMOing, the costs of PMOing are such that the benefits of not PMOing are so high now to the point where you want to stop. You will want to stop. Okay, so I think you can realise that this dopamine theory about how PMO produces dopamine and it's so addictive isn't why addiction happens, because tuna doesn't produce any dopamine. It doesn't have this evolutionary instinct behind it. People develop these strange addictions, and I think this show is a big testament to how quote-unquote addictions aren't due to the hijacking of your brain. It's due to your beliefs. You genuinely believe this thing is doing something for you that's magical, and that's why you like it, right? Like this vid, share it with one of your NoFap buddies so we can save the world, spread all this great content around the algo, and subscribe for more awesome vids, like stuff that's really gonna revolutionize the NoFap scene, really gonna take over, really gonna give you like proper information, good info. And read the freedom model below. It's the best thing ever. Read it cover to cover, understand it. That's the best way to get quit PMO. I can assure you, it's how I did it. It's how you can do it too.